divine consciousness. Thus, the Gnostics taught, when Sophia rises, Christ is born within the soul. This is not myth, it is map. The soul that remembers wisdom becomes a living temple where heaven and earth meet again. There are things that were not hidden by accident, but by design. When the feminine face of God was erased, humanity lost its reflection, but the Book of Wisdom preserved the trace, a memory disguised as poetry. Sophia is the mirror of eternal light. To look into her is to see yourself as you truly are. The truth does not comfort, but it sets free. Deep down, you already knew. You only needed to remember. Silence the world for a moment. What you are about to hear is not entertainment. It is ancient memory. It is something you have always known, but were taught to forget. In the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, a hidden voice declares, "I came forth from the mouth of the Most High, and like mist I covered the earth." These words are the confession of Sophia herself, the account of her descent into creation. This mist is not water or weather. It is symbol. It is the breath between spirit and matter, the veil between eternity and time. When Sophia says she came forth from the mouth of the Most High, she reveals her nature. She is not created, but uttered. She is the exhalation of the divine, the living word made breath. To cover the earth like mist means that wisdom pervades everything. She is the subtle substance of existence, invisible yet real, soft yet irresistible. She descends not with thunder but with tenderness, enfolding the world in silence. The Gnostics saw in this passage the first movement of the divine descent, the moment when the spark of heaven entered the density of matter. Sophia, in compassion, chose to forget her own perfection in order to breathe life into what was incomplete. Her mist is the spirit that animates all things. The text continues, "I dwelt in the highest places, and my throne was a pillar of cloud." This pillar is the bridge between realms. Sophia reigns not in separation, but in communion. She is the threshold, the space where the infinite kisses the finite. When wisdom spreads through creation, the anima mundi, the world's soul, is born. Every wave of the ocean, every gust of wind, every heartbeat is her whisper. "I gave forth a pleasant fragrance," she says. The fragrance is spirit itself, unseen yet unmistakable to the soul that remembers. The Gnostics taught that every being carries a particle of this divine mist. The body is its veil, the soul, its condensation. When we awaken, we recall that we are not merely creatures of dust, but vapors of eternity. The mist returns to the sky from which it came. Sirach continues, "I took root among a glorious people in the portion of the Lord." Here the mist becomes tree, the spirit taking root in humanity. Sophia no longer merely visits creation, she inhabits it. Her roots are in every act of kindness, her branches in every awakening mind. The religious authorities read this as a metaphor for moral instruction, but its meaning is deeper. Sophia plants herself within the human heart as the seed of divine remembrance. She is intuition, conscience, empathy, the quiet voice that says, "Remember where you came from." The modern world has forgotten this mist. It replaced mystery with measurement, silence with noise, living faith with doctrine. But faith without wisdom is blindness, and knowledge without Sophia is emptiness. What many call faith is often imprisonment. True faith is communion with the breath of the living spirit. There are things that were not hidden by accident, but by interest. The descent of Sophia was rewritten as submission, but the ancients knew, her mist is the womb of the world. Without her, creation would be lifeless matter. Sophia never left. She still covers the earth. Her breath moves through rivers, forests, and the quiet spaces between thoughts. Whoever learns to listen can feel her presence in the wind and in the pulse of their own heart. She is the divine mist, the bridge between heaven and earth, the word and the silence, the essence and the form. Where there is life, there is her trace. The truth does not comfort, but it sets free. Deep down, you already knew. You only needed to remember. Silence the world for a moment. What you are about to hear is not entertainment. It is ancient memory. It is something you have always known, but were taught to forget. In the book of Baruch lies a passage almost forgotten by time. Who has gone up into heaven and taken her, and brought her down from the clouds? She appeared upon the earth and lived among men. Few have noticed the weight of these words, but here, for a moment, the hidden becomes visible. Sophia, the living wisdom, did not remain in the heights. She descended. Baruch speaks from exile, lamenting the loss of divine understanding. "Where is wisdom?" he cries, and the text answers like lightning. She appeared upon the earth. Not as abstraction, not as metaphor, as presence. Wisdom walked among humanity. The Gnostics understood this as the very heart of the cosmic story. Sophia, youngest of the divine emanations, beheld the source and longed to create in her own image. Reaching beyond the boundaries of the pleroma, the realm of divine fullness, she touched the shadow, and from that touch was born the demiurge, the false god who shaped the material world. Seeing what her longing had produced, Sophia was filled with compassion. She did not abandon creation. She descended into it to heal it from within. She appeared upon the earth. This is the first incarnation, not of word, but of wisdom. Before the Logos became flesh, Sophia became breath and blood. The Gnostics taught that the descent of Sophia opened the path for the descent of the Christ. The Logos could not enter matter until the feminine aspect of God had gone before him, preparing the way. He is the Word, she, the womb that receives it. Together they form redemption. Baruch says that no one has climbed the heavens to bring her down, meaning wisdom cannot be seized or controlled. She reveals herself freely, moved only by love. She dwells not in temples, but in hearts open to silence. Later the text declares, "She is the book of the commandments of God." This is one of the most daring statements in all Scripture. Sophia is the law itself, not written on tablets, but inscribed in living consciousness. She is the covenant written in breath and heartbeat. The true law is not command, but awareness. Centuries later, John's Gospel would echo the same mystery. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. But before that word, Baruch had already spoken of the one who made the incarnation possible. She appeared upon the earth. Sophia is the forgotten prelude of the incarnation. Her descent is not punishment, but mercy. She chooses to feel what the world feels, to carry its sorrow and its joy, to teach not from a throne, but from within the human condition. Wherever compassion arises, there she is. Wherever truth meets tenderness, she walks unseen. There are things that were not hidden by accident, but by intention. If wisdom can live among humankind, no temple, no priesthood, no hierarchy can claim to own the sacred. That is why her name was erased. Yet she cannot be erased. Every act of forgiveness is her breath. Every tear that becomes understanding is her descent renewed. Sophia continues to walk the earth in the mother who loves, the sage who listens, the child who sees beauty where others see dust. Christ and Sophia are two currents of the same river, the word that descends and the wisdom that receives. In their union, the world remembers its source. Wisdom appeared upon the earth and still lives among us, hidden in every heart that dares to remember. The truth does not comfort, but it sets free. Deep down, you already knew. You only needed to remember. Silence the world for a moment. What you are about to hear is not entertainment. It is ancient memory. It is something you have always known, but were taught to forget. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. With this line, the Gospel of John opens the deepest mystery of all, but behind the Greek word logos, usually translated as word, lies a greater truth. Logos is the voice, Sophia is the understanding. The masculine and the feminine are not opposites here, but partners in the divine dance. In the ancient world, logos meant more than speech. It meant vibration, pattern, principle, consciousness. Every sound needs a space to echo. Every light needs something to shine upon. That space, that awareness that receives the word is Sophia. She is the feminine aspect of the logos, the womb of divine thought, the stillness that allows sound to become creation. The text says, "The word was with God." In Greek, proston theon means face to face with God. If there is a face, there must be a reflection. Sophia is that reflection. She is the mirror in which the Father gazes upon himself. Without her, the Word would have no form to fill. Without the Word, she would have no song to carry. Together they create the universe. The Logos speaks, Sophia listens, and through that listening, worlds are born. It is not command that creates, it is communion. When John writes, "All things were made through him," the preposition through carries the sense of co-action, partnership. Sophia is the medium of manifestation, the divine matrix through which